Ladies and gentlemen, this is DZ Champion with y'all today. I got my little cousin in the house today. He is
Sir,
Pelota. Pelota, go ahead and
uh,
introduce yourself, sir.
the
So we're here playing 2K20, But
sir,
I'm over here playing some ESO, some Elder Scrolls Online, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys my build. It's Hardness Magica, Ritual Rebirth, Inner Light, Channeled Focus, Ritual of Retribution, and Life Giver, and that's in my back bar for healing mostly. This is yeah, the restoration staff. So basically, those are my main skills in the back one. In the front one, we have degeneration, proximity detonation, inner light, blazing spear, puncturing sweep. To keep the nice DPS and heals up, and empowering sweep. I'm not gonna go ahead and give a background or insight in these skills because you guys already know what this is about. For those of you who are into the game, of course. And I'm running dual wield for this one, not destruction staff, just because dual wield gives me more critical, and it's a very high crit build with the gear that I'm running with it right now. So basically, I have the Grothar monster set, head and shoulder. The chest, basically I have gold for everything, but except for this, I need to make that gold real quick, and jewelry as well. Um, but apart from that right there, it's just Mother Sorrow and Julianos. Mundus and Impenetrable is what your best bet will be for this, because it will give you the highest crit and the highest crit resistance as well, with huge pool of Magica, huge pool of Magica. This is how our attributes look. Magical pool is, as you can see, almost 41k, which is more than enough. And you got maximum health at 19k, which is definitely more than enough for whatever you might want. Dungeons, PvP, PvE, whatever you want. You got physical resistance over here at 17k, but that's just because the buff that this man have just gave me. So basically, at regular without no buffs, it's sitting right here at 12k with a little bit over 12k, and spell resistance at 13k, almost 13.5k. It's pretty good for healing slash DPS build, because we are definitely a hybrid build. We can do both very effectively. And also over here, for our critical resistance, we have more than enough in my opinion for PvP. That's why I put Impenetrable for over half the gear that I have slotted. And yeah, my Magica recovery might be a little bit low for a Magica build, but it's all made up with the spell damage that you can see right there. Once it's buffed, it's like 3.1k, which is more than enough for PvP. Not more than enough actually. I would like that a little bit higher, but it does the job perfectly in PvP for how I use it, and more than enough for sure in PvE. Weapon damage is not really, doesn't matter with this build because it's mostly a Magica, but it's pretty high in my opinion for a Magica build. And the spell crit, as you can see, it's almost 70, which is very high for a Magica build. It's a very high crit. You basically hit crit with every one of your shots, so that's mostly what I focus on. High heals, high crit heals, high crit shots, and you can basically almost two-shot people in here. And yeah, I was a vampire a little bit ago, but I took that off because it was even at the lowest stage, it takes like 3% of your maximum abilities. So yeah, I just decided to go and use my maximum, what maximum of what my abilities can do. So I took that off. I found it rather useless because I only had like the vampire, the Dracula transformation slotted, and that was only for PvP because you get the nice little swarm of bats around you and whatnot doing damage to everybody. So just took that off, and I didn't really notice change in my PvP like performance or anything like that. Didn't find a use for it really. So went ahead and restore my points back to me before I went to take the vampirism, to cure the vampirism basically. And yeah, but yeah, the magic recovery is still okay. I mean, it's nothing special, as you can see. Everything there is alright. I think that everything for maximum magic health and stamina does the job perfectly. I just need to get my helmet to gold, and I'm sure it'll do just fine for PvP and PvE how I've been running it. I've definitely need to get this gold, my jewelry. But yeah, that's what I'm running for high crit right there. And for the weapons right here is 2 daggers of Giuliano's and the restoration stuff of Giuliano's. I'm running like 6, I think, or 5. I don't know. Yeah, it's like 5. Both back and front. Whenever I switch, it's still active for both of them. So it's like three sets, including the monster one. But yeah. Apart from that, the champions. This is all up to how you play, in my opinion, with the recent updates. But the champion points right here is what I have: a Warlord 42, 100 in Arcanist, 100 in Tennessee, and for the mage I have Elfborn 42, Elemental Expert 100, and Spell Erosion 100. Just gonna keep going up on all the ones that I have 42 on, basically. Not gonna switch anything right there. And resistance, probably basically that's half of the reason why I have such high critical resistance. Light armor focus, I'm gonna definitely keep bringing that up, because once I buff, I have over 20k on both of them for resistance, and I think that's pretty decent for PvP, because I'd be playing a lot of PvP as well. And a lot of PvE, but I think for PvE I don't even struggle really, and I be healing very effectively, trials and veteran dungeons. So yeah, and I think it does a very good job. And yeah, that's what it is right there for champion points. Gonna go ahead and show you real quick. Actually, yeah, buffing it up real quick. Right here buffed, we have 20k physical resistance, and spell resistance is 21k. And yeah, I think that buffed right there, staying in a little circle, you will have enough protection and output enough DPS to where you will withstand at least 2 people or 3 people in DPS by yourself. I've done it myself before. It all depends on the skills and how skillful you are as well. I have all Magicka and all 64 points to Magicka, and my boon is the Apprentice for increased spell damage. The only thing that switches here is that when I have my back bar staff, it's 24 or 2,451, and once I have in my front bar, I have 2,652. That's because of the daggers. That's the DPS bar. That's why it's a little bit higher right there. So I completely manage it for fine. It works out for me. But yeah, this is for whoever wants to copy and use it to how I'm using it. It's a hybrid build, how I use it, and it works fine. So whoever wants to do this, more than welcome to. Just want to let everybody know about my build, in case you want to use it. You know, it's the first time I put it out. It's very nice build, best build I've had for sure. So hopefully many more builds to come. You know, it takes a long time working on these builds, but this is the most complete build out of all the ones that I've had for sure. As you can see, I have very high stats in all of my skills, 50 and everything. And I'm just working on my jewelry. I'm gonna try and become a master jewelry, or a jeweler, or whatever the fuck, however you say it. so I can make my own jewelry, and that'll be the basically the completion of this. I'm trying to get the physic order skill line as well, see how I change things up a little bit, but as well you can change things up however they work for you right here. This is my setup basically for the Skyreach runs and whatnot, to make some little side money. This is a little the skill bar for that. This is for healing and whatnot, taking off the harmful effects. But you can switch this up. This is my PvP. This is how I play it right here. I put ice comment on for my ultimate. Keep that the same. I put toppling charge right here for closing the gaps. I keep that the same, and switch this for purifying light, and I switch this for dark flare. Dark flare, just go ahead and you could actually, this is how I run it most of the time, but if you want to one-shot people, you should probably self-buff first with this. I find enough spell damage and damage overall with how I run it like this, but if you want to do the just, you know, snipe from afar, you might want to self-buff first, and then go ahead and put the dark flare into right here, into triangle, self buff, and then probably press that like twice, and it hits like 20Ks just twice, and that's like 40K, more than enough to kill a person on there. And yeah, you know, plenty of kills, badges, achievements, whatever you want. Have fun with it. And I think that's mostly it. This is how I run it for sure for PvE, for Battlegrounds. But yeah, that'll be it for today, and I hope you enjoy the build. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you guys next time. DZ Champion out.